Good evening, folks, and it is the show with Piere Guyton. Bonjour, como se va? And I'm here with the homie, the Ace Boon Coon, friend of the Silver Spoon Coon, Kap Droski.
What's going on, man?
Same shit, different toilet, bigger pile, smaller shovel.
Okay.
All right, but let me ask you a couple of questions. Let me ask you about yourself. So, who are you, Mr. Kap Droski?
Man, I'm a comic, I'm a show producer, I'm a host, and I'm just another young black man from the South Side.
South Side with an F on it.
South Side with an F on it.
Heard.
Just trying to get up out of here, make a couple dollars, and take some people with me and make them make some dollars.
I like dollars. You know, that makes sense. You know, the only person told me, if that makes sense, it makes dollars.
Absolutely.
No, so you got an IG, or is there anything on the internet that you're doing right now that people can find you or follow you at?
Yeah, everything's Kap Droski for me, and then also we're doing a $1 comedy show. You can find that $1. Type it in on. I've been told you type it in on Google. We pop up on there too. So, you know. We also got our new deal that we're working with, streetvine.net. So you're about to start seeing like links for that everywhere pop up, like so you'll be able to scan it with your phone and stuff. So yeah, we're working on some new stuff, man. Coming into work, we're trying to make it out here, man. Just really put everybody on a platform that helps everybody help everybody else. Like I just want to be able to show comedians that we can all work together and it works off better that way.
I like that mindset.
Yeah, like I don't think any one person can do something alone that they couldn't do better with other people.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's kind of like what I'm doing with the show too. Like I just found out about a lot of stuff that you do. I fucks with it. I want to be a part of it. So if I wanted to be a part of it, like somebody else would want to do it, how would we get in contact with you, or where would we go to get involved with the $1 show?
Well, the best way to get involved in it, I would say hit us on the $1 comedy show at Gmail or Instagram. I think we have a Facebook too. Somebody, you know, we got IT to do, so I don't really know.
Okay.
But yeah, hit us through there, send us a tape, and it absolutely has to have laughter and fluidity. And when we say laughter and fluidity, we mean that there's no pause or hesitation, like you sound like you know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, you know what I'm saying? And just constantly getting laughter. And even if we were out, like, to see you in public and see something like that, like, that's another way. Like, we see you do a big time slot, so we know that doing this amount of time is no big deal.
Like a big time slot is how long, for example?
I would say if you're out here in this open mic atmosphere where you get to do like 4 to 5 shows a night, you can regularly do about 5 minutes to 6 minutes. So if you can do that, that means that, you know, you should just be able to survive the waters. So that's what we put on. We put on 6 minutes for everybody, and we just put up a plethora of comedians, and we try to make sure we mix it up so that it's not just a one shot, one kind of thing. Like you're gonna come here and just get a bunch of uppity people, or you're gonna come here and get a whole bunch of country people who can't pronounce all of our jokes, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you're going to get some vets, you're going to get some people who pulled up with some other people, like, you're going to get a good mixture, and at the same time, it's just going to, you know, give you a platform to show what you can do.
And where is this $1 show?
I was at the Relapse, and you can find our ticket sales right now. It's linked through Eventbrite as relapse.com. You can just buy it directly from.
And how much are the tickets?
Tickets for the most of the shows are $6 online and $10 at the door. And then our other ones, what we do is like our traveling shows. Those end up being like $10 online and $15 at the door.
And where do you travel to when you do these shows?
We done the Wormhole. We went to Savannah. We went out to Tennessee. We actually got some things going on. We need to go back to North Carolina. So yeah, we just, you know, anytime it's a situation where a comedian says like, hey, we got something, we want to work, I want to do something out here, I know a lot of people, I just don't have a platform. Hey man, come talk to us.
So you also like set up the shows, like when you go out of town, you talk to these people that are at these comedy clubs or bars or wherever, these theaters and things like that.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
Me and my other associate, Sham, like basically we go to do things and stuff like that, and people say like, hey, I want to come up here from like maybe Tennessee or Charleston, or I got a bunch of people that come from the Comedy Zone in Greenville. And they all want us to like come down there and do their late shows and stuff like that just because every time they come up here, I'm like, yo, you traveling out of town to do comedy, and you take me seriously.
Right.
I don't have to see the tape. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're legit doing this, like, on the regular,
right.
I can just go out and just see your name on some tickets.
Right.
I don't have to, you know, like, I don't feel like the whole knowing somebody and calling somebody, like...
Somebody vouching for you.
You don't want that. You know what I'm saying? You
right.
know what I'm saying? You don't want that because in that sense, you're gonna have a bigger fall. Like, you fell off of something that you weren't supposed to be on in the first place.
Right.
But at the same time, if you show your talent, then I can see the payoff. So,
right. It speaks for itself.
Absolutely. And people always are going to go, you know, try to do that. But at the same time, I feel like they're hard work and just try.
That's a hard balance, too, because sometimes, like, you know, nobody's perfect all the time. And then, like, you know, no one's going to have a great show every time. So sometimes people bomb.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like you said, you know, it's opportunity. And if you have an opportunity to do something, you should just be prepared for it.
Yeah. The bombing isn't the bombing. The part that, like, determines, like, how you take it serious, like, when you bomb on stage is how you handle bombing. Because if you bomb and it's like, okay, it's time to go. Y'all have a great day. Like, you know, that's not taking it serious. Like, you're supposed to be, you might have been contractually told to do 15 minutes in certain situations. And you treated it like I had 6 and it didn't go well at the first 1 and 2. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I just feel like it's all how you handle it because at the end of the day, if you're doing rooms that's, you know, they're paying to see people and things like that, eventually you're going to do really, really bad for a long amount of time. And you're going to say, well, we know the show will get better. And it will kill the room more than anything that anybody else can say.
Right. Like, acknowledge the fact that it's not going well.
Exactly. And that's where you get the whole comedians in our community and what we talk to people coming off stage and things like that. It's not, man, if somebody bomb on the stage, bro, I don't care. That makes me lose no less respect for you. Right. What makes me lose respect for you is how you take it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
because I've seen some people bomb and then walk straight out the club.
Yeah, and I've seen people bomb and I've seen them delusional. Like, what they think is something because maybe they got some laughs at some jokes, but you told 4 or 5 jokes for like 4 or 5 minutes that didn't go well, and then you got into some stuff where you just kind of start whipping off the, you know what I'm saying? So I don't really consider that like, when you say like the levels of bombing, like I don't consider that like a thing, like it matters, but it matters how you handle it, and how you view yourself.
I feel it. And how long have you been doing this? Like, you know, setting up these shows, traveling around and trying to help people get to a better place than where they are in their field of entertainment?
Man, it's just probably, it's been a short road. It's probably, I think we got an anniversary like of a year coming up soon. Okay. And I think we've only had like maybe 11, 12 shows.
Well, you see, that's a bigger number than a lot of people may think if they've been doing nothing at all. Yeah. You feel me? Like, I just started this YouTube channel thing. This is the 4th episode, I believe I have here with you. And somebody was like, you know, well, how do you go about doing your shows? I'm like, well, you just actually have to go and do it. And I'm learning more stuff about it as I go. And I feel like me talking to you is actually helping me learn a little bit more about how to be a better host of doing things and how to, like, you know, be a better comedian as well. Absolutely. But we were already talking about bombs, though. What was your most memorable bomb?
Oh, my most recent bomb. Yesterday.
Like fresh, still smoking.
Like, it wasn't even like, all right, this particular bomb, I got like applause. Like, I bombed and got standing ovations in the same set. You know, like, it was like weird. It's like I bombed on like a joke that I basically came up with these 2-3 jokes about the same time, which were like maybe a couple of days ago. So I was working all these shows at the same time and they were killing. So one joke was really close proximity to the place. Like it was a real thing to happen. So I was like, I got attacked by a bum. I didn't want to tell that joke. I didn't want to tell a joke where I got into a fight with a homeless man because I went trying to record him while he was kicking the wall, calling it the FBI. So so I'm like, you know, like, I didn't want to tell that joke because he was probably, you know, out there. Like, so I went to do the other jokes, and then I was gonna mix in some of my old material, and then like I did the first joke, it hit. I did the second joke. It was just utter silence through the entire minute and a half of the joke. And then literally like just because I host so much, that reflex just kind of kicked in. All right, that didn't go too well. Let's go to the next one. And it was I just went with it, and that's why I went into the other jokes that were older jokes I was gonna do anyway. And those literally got like standing ovations just for like the time period and whenever you put this out.
Proximity of the silence.
Yeah, and I don't know when it is that you'll put this out or what date and shit like that, but today is before the 4th of July. And a couple of days ago, everybody in Georgia knows that they just made this law where you can't text and drive. So I basically did all my old material and just mentioned it. And every time I mentioned it, like people stood the fuck up clapping. Because it seemed like I had written these great elaborate jokes about some shit that just happened like a couple of days ago. You know what I'm saying?
Like, oh wow.
Yeah, it was just like, it was one line where I was like something about a pocket pussy and it's the same size as a phone. Like, it was just like, oh my God. Like, you can't drive with a pocket pussy either. Like, it was just like,
I got caught too.
But on the same set, like 2 or 3 minutes before that, complete utter silence.
Like I told somebody too, and I was like, "There is no sound that's more memorable than when you think someone's supposed to laugh and they don't."
Absolutely. And also, when I say before, like be honest about who you are, be honest about the venue. I was at a venue in Atlanta. We all know, and I won't say it on camera, but we know there are 2 places that particular crowds are more willing to see comedy than most. So that makes them louder, that makes them an easier crowd to interact with without heckling. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the particular crowd that I was doing was one of those louder crowds. And that's why I was like, oh.
It's quiet. I know what you're talking about.
It meant more because I was like, okay.
It is like a bone-chilling silence because everyone's listening.
Yeah.
Everyone's paying attention. There's not anyone who did. People even in the back hear what you said.
But it didn't really bother me as much during the silence because I'm like, I know the joke. Something's gonna hit in here.
It's gonna work.
But it bothered me more afterwards when I heard how loud like these ovations were because I said I can't drive my pocket pussy in the same size of a cell phone. Like,
oh,
that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I got a standing ovation for that. But at the same time, it was complete utter silence for a joke that I thought was gold.
Like, this happened to me too. It may have been at the same place. I had my Bill Cosby joke.
Yeah, I was there. Okay, yeah.
Now, before I even said it, I was like, I got the light, and he was like, all right. I was like, all right, guys, I got a minute. Everybody laughed, and I was like, okay. And I was like, I kind of want to do my Bill Cosby joke. Everybody laughed again, and I was like, that's a good sign. If nobody laughed, I wasn't gonna say it out loud. Everybody laughed again, and I said it. Everybody started laughing. They were like, oh. So I had one more. So everybody was like clapping. They were like, yeah. And I was like, all right, one more. My granddaddy was a crackhead, but he told me a whole bunch of smart things. Like he said, you should never go down on a woman who's had an abortion. Somebody was like, why? I said, because niggas have died there. And I just see everyone goes, oh. They weren't laughing. It was just like, oh.
I mean, I like noises. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, if you got a loud crowd, how often do you, all right, put it like this. When you're in the crowd is small and you see people do that, ooh, face, you don't always hear it.
Yeah.
So to hear a whole room, oh,
right.
I'm cool with that.
Right. I was like,
yeah, all
right, I'm out.
To me, that's not, I don't even consider that a bomb. I just consider that like you might want to do it in big crowds only.
Right. Because you really gonna hear
you're going to hear some ooh. And there's going to be some.
Everybody heard it though. You were right. And I walked off stage. As I was walking off, everybody was like, hey man, they like had their heads down like, that was good. It's like they were ashamed to laugh. And I was like, I feel it too. It was pretty bad. Have you ever been booed?
Nah, but I booed somebody.
like a comedian, you were like, boo.
Oh man, somebody I worked with too.
Ooh.
It was an accident. It wasn't on purpose. Like it was like on
you accidentally screamed boo?
Bro, it was like on some reflex. I'm fucking with you, like shit, like between each other. You know, when you're around each other, you talk about certain things, like. So I'm like around each other. We just might say some shit. Just, boo, boo. I just walk in on some shit. Boo that man.
Oh shit. And then everybody boo him?
Yeah, no, but it's just like me and one other dude in the room and him. So, you know what I'm saying? So, like, we were at a club and he didn't want to do, like, what the rules were. And they had this one thing, like, it was like this interactive show where they had, like, a bunch of things you had to do. So, finally, they had this thing you had to spin a wheel. And the first thing it landed on, I forgot what it was, but it was something that he couldn't do. So he said no. It's like, all right, I can't do that. It's like, and then like immediately, like the people on stage, like, and they played the one, like right after he said that. So they're like, all right, bro, you fucking with us now.
Right. So
the next thing, the very second thing, I remember this for a fucking fact. It said, FaceTime your mom, and I knew he had an Android. So I was like legit, like on reflex, just like. Boo. But you
were booing his phone.
But it was like silent. It wasn't like really loud. So maybe like the people in the back heard it.
Right.
And 2 or 3 comics were laughing because they know us and shit like that. But then like on stage, they got all this equipment and they're fucking with shit. Bro hits a button that says boo. But the boo button is way longer than anybody thought. So in the meantime, this thing's like just sitting here like boo, and he just like
looking.
To his credit, he did not leave that stage.
Stayed on.
Yeah, and did another question, and then actually like did the answer and shit.
Wow.
But that second one, oh yeah, bro.
Yeah, I booed his ass.
Nah, it was like we be playing.
You still booed him.
But no, the robot booed him importantly. Like
he said, my boo was like
just like low key. They booed him with a robot, and then everybody in the band was just laughing because it's a robot booing you now.
You don't think he may have been a catalyst?
Hey man, people get motivation from all types of places. I can't say that I was somebody else's, but I can't say that I wasn't. So
where do you get your motivation from?
Man, I'm out there. Just watching people and just seeing their, mannerisms and how they approach it and how they treat it like a job and things like that. So, I've always taken the mindset of I can do better at the jobs that I do. If I can get a promotion and stuff, I think I should definitely go for it. So I took this as like, hey man, I can do some stuff that some of these, big people are complaining about, and I can do that smoothly.
I feel like that's cool. Like I feel the same way about certain situations, like at work where I actually work, not doing comedy. I feel like I can do a way better job than the people who get paid more money than me to do things. I just don't want that stress.
Yeah,
because I'm not passionate about it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like when it comes to like comedy, I'm primarily a stand-up comedian, and I would like to host things. Because I've hosted a few shows and it's way, I don't know, it's not relaxing, but I'm way more comfortable.
They're different. They're 2 different things.
Yeah, but I'm way more comfortable hosting than I am doing stand-up. Like I'm not opposed to doing either, but hosting, I'm just like, wow, I could literally do this all day because I come up with stuff like this, and it may take me a while to like come up with a structured like path of, I don't know, like the curriculum of comedy. But I draw my like motivation, if you will, just from things that I've been through. I get roasted a whole lot.
I didn't know we were talking about your motivation. My interview. All right.
I mean, I was just going. I was trying. Like, I see 2 + 2, and I was trying to add to it.
I've been roasting you all day, so
I was there.
I know where your motivation comes from.
Now, I'm not gonna say I feel insecure about it.
Nah, I know with my whole heart you ain't made none of them ball jokes about yourself.
No, I didn't.
Like I know that with my whole heart.
I've never met. That just set in for me. Yeah, I have never roasted myself first.
Yeah.
God.
All right. So what's my next question?
Oh yeah. Do you still get nervous before a show?
Man, yeah, but it's kind of funny.
How so?
Okay, the state of being nervous is 2 things. It's physical and mental. I don't get nervous on the mental part, but I'll get nervous on the physical part. And then sometimes I'll get nervous on the physical part and be cool on the mental. But in the most part, it's always the physical and not the mental. Like my body will maybe have a shaky hand or something, so I have to make sure, I'm like, man, however I'm going to do my jokes or however I have to get into my method of basically getting my body calm, it's a repetitive thing. So whether it be like, you know, Shaquille O'Neal eating 2 turkey sandwiches 4 hours before the basketball game,
Right.
Things like that, like, yeah, I got my little, you know, ritual that I have to go through to literally make my body not nervous.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like you said, the handshakes like that, or like some people they stutter.
I figured that out, like, I was probably 4 or 5 months into comedy, and I had did a show in Savannah. Great Place, Black Sparrow. I still do it now when I go down there.
You said Black Sparrow?
Yeah, I still do it now when I go down there. It's on Monday nights, and they, this particular time, they started maybe like, I think 5 minutes early. Not even that they started early. What happened was a couple of comics were like, I guess, bowing out early. Like they didn't do enough material. I don't know if they were vets or new or whatever, but it was basically like 5 people in front of me and they just like kind of ran through it fast. And I was coming from Atlanta. So like I had got there and then was just waiting on a couple of people to get there because they were going to record me because that was like my first time coming out there and stuff like that. Well, second time at that point. And they told me I had to run on stage. I'm like, all right, cool.
Like physically run?
Yeah. Like I had to like get in here real quick because he didn't see my face and I got one more person. So got in there, then I'm like, all right, let me write my jokes that I made up about the city like while I was here driving around. Cause I like to go around the cities I'm in, you know, to get the material about.
Like as soon as it happens to you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Just, I mean, cause I'll tell you about that later too, but so I'm doing that and we, get inside, I'm got a drink and everything, and I'm sitting here trying to like just type them real quick, just type 5, 6 little bullets just so I want to remember about Charleston. Man, I couldn't control my fucking hand. I think it took me that whole 6-minute set that somebody was doing, and I wrote like 3 words. Like
your hands are just shaking?
Yeah, I'm like, bro, this is fucking crazy. And my girlfriend is over here like, oh my God, like, you think you're gonna do bad? Like, she's asking like legit answers. But I'm like, went up there, killed it.
But you were just like, and after you killed it, were your hands still shaking? Do you remember?
I remember being mad.
At what?
At the fact that I didn't get to do a lot of things that I wanted to do about that particular time, and I had to use basically recycle jokes. And at that point, I wasn't doing that. Right. I was so new into it, I was still coming up with new material. So I was like, I just remember being upset after about like having to recycle material. About Charleston that I did maybe 2 months ago. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you had new things.
I was being spoiled basically at that point because I was so new and didn't know things. Like,
well, I know people do it, but do you sometimes? How do I say this? Take the safe route and like often use recycled jokes at places that you've never been to before?
Nah, because for me, I find that a lot of the things because of where I'm at in the. You know, where I'm at in comedy, also where I'm at in the world of, you know, production and show running, it took me the time to take off from comedy. So I don't feel like I'm where I could be by the amount of time that I've had to put into it. So in my mind, like, I don't think I'm even close to being seasoned. I haven't hit like my best set yet, but I'm in a position where, you know, I'm going to do 15 minutes this weekend in another city. You know what I'm saying? So,
where's that?
I'm going to the Wormhole this weekend, Savannah, Georgia. And yeah, I've done a couple shows down there, and I also took the $1 comedy show down there too. We had a great turnout. I'll probably take it back like around October.
Okay.
November maybe.
Is there another local comedian that you look up to or that you would like to work with in the future?
Local? I mean, not any that I've seen immediately outside of like a Wellington Juku, but even that, I think that's more like a situation and timing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because we got a cool board, so.
Like, cause we always see comedians everywhere you go whenever you go to the club.
Cause he's supposed to do the $1 comedy show and just got like a call last minute, like one time. So you know what I'm saying? Like I don't even feel like it's too many comedians that I want to work with that's in the city that haven't already, you know, had some type of reach out. So like in my mind, I'm like maybe we haven't worked with like Vanessa Fraction, but she already agreed to do a show and we had on the flyer. But she told me, point blank period, the day we talked about it, like, hey, I'm being in New York. I don't know if I'll be back, but if I am, I'll do it. And I'm like, cool. Can we put you on the flyer and you post it? Yeah, absolutely. Oh man, you know what I'm saying? Like, what else do I need? I'm like, I don't think that was like our second, maybe third show at that point.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, man. I don't. Now, I do have another artist I want to work with, but this is just more of a location problem. Like, we've, I don't know how, but for some reason we've reached some people in Australia. So they said, I'm like, I don't really, I can't call, I can show you the emails, like, it's a dude that's out there that wants to come down here and he wants to do the show. And I'm like, nah, if you coming out here, I'm going to let you headline the show.
Right.
So, you know, that's something that I'm trying to work on. I'm like,
that's
trying to figure
dope.
it out. Yeah.
Like, it literally just blows my mind. I was like, wow, people in Australia like to listen to niggas.
Nah, man. Everybody likes to laugh everywhere, man.
Yeah, that's dope.
Besides that, you don't know what they niggas is until you get over there. They might look at some gingers like they niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like, you never know. I'm not saying I know anything about Australia, but the only thing I do know is that them boomerangs are used to kill kangaroos.
Are they?
That's it. That's them shits are really made to like hit a kangaroo
in the neck and like just
like
I did not know that.
That's the only thing I know. I asked one and then he told me don't ever ask anybody else because that's like, you know,
kind of racist or something.
Not even that. It's just like it's a dumbass stereotype. It's like somebody coming over here and because you live in New Jersey, they ask you about Jersey Shore. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. Like, just
I get it. Yeah.
Figure yourself out, man. Like.
Or just like somebody going up to a black guy and be like, you know, are you really good at basketball? Because, you know.
Nah, it just depends on what black guy you're talking to. Just the fact that you suck. Don't try to pull down our stereotype.
Heard.
We got that.
But I want to talk about the Street Vine Radio we have right up here. So what do you guys have here on Street Vine Radio?
Right now, as of today, we don't have anything up there yet. But what we're actually about to start working on tonight and for the rest of this week is putting up our I guess events for right now. But we have our comedy album at the $1 Comedy Show recording on July 28th, and that'll be streaming through Street Vine, and I'll have its own subsection where you can go listen to comedy and see our pictures and see videos. So we're about to basically start tonight, and tomorrow we're just uploading just different current material that we have and get these events out so other people can come out and see the show.
Okay. And what was the first comedy club you went to, and how did that go?
First comedy club I went to was the Laughing Skull, and it went way better than it should have. Because
you were expecting to bomb?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I wanted to bomb to the point where I had written like maybe 30 minutes worth of material and didn't use any of it. Like I just purposely was like, nope. First time, I want to get the feeling. I want to see if I can handle it when I suck. That was just my whole mindset. And went up there and just like did my version of Boobity School.
That was your first time ever?
Yeah, I just went up there and made designer noises. Just like, wow. Yeah. Oh, you know, like just sorry, like I think I roasted like 2 or 3 people in the crowd. Some dude had 1 gold teeth, like 1 gold tooth. And I was like, hey man, in my mind, I know you want more. You know what I'm saying? Like I
just can't afford it.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't even say. I was just like, I know you want more. We'll talk about it later. And other people were like, still like laughing. It was like, this shit seems kind of personal, kind of weird, like
right.
And I was like, but when I talked to other comics that saw that particular first set, and comics that you know I actually respect their craft and respect what they do. They were telling me about like, man, you did great, but like, and how confident you were. Like, I've never seen anybody that confident.
Their first time.
Just talking about stuff. and you didn't say shit. Like, I didn't tell a joke. Like, I think I legit did not tell a joke outside of me just roasting people. Like, when eventually I was just like, all right, they just laughed at designer noises and was about to talk about people. Let's see how this is gonna go.
I don't have that type of confidence, even to this day. I
don't have it no more.
I used all your mojo that
first go. Like, I couldn't go up there and not have any like material or anything. Like, just be like, all right, I'm just about to shoot from the hip. And like, nah, man. I
don't know if it's true, but somebody told me it was an older dude, an older comedian, that the reason why you get nervous or something like that before a show is because you actually care about how you're gonna do. And I was like, I guess. He said, well, look, if you didn't care how you did something,
absolutely.
How would you do it?
Yeah.
Like, you don't care.
But at the same time, what I care about more so isn't like really how I do right now. I care more so like how I'm wording and structuring, because how you do it is even like how the comics and how the crowd takes it. Like, how I structure it is gonna tell me that, all right, this might not work here, but I know I'm saying this the right way, because you know what I'm saying. Like, I've had jokes where I mumbled and messed up words, and people were still laughing, but they were laughing more of like, what the fuck? Like,
more because of not because of what you said.
Yeah, and then you go back and you do those same jokes and you tell them clearly, and it's like, okay, those parts are getting awkwardly silent. What happened this time?
It's like, people here.
Yeah, it's like, shit, this is a big ass room. What the fuck is going
on? Is there some kind of material that you think is blah? Is there any type of material that only you think is funny or that you don't perform anymore?
I can't tell my girlfriend jokes about her. That's about it.
You can't tell your girlfriend about the jokes you perform about her?
No, I can't tell her jokes about her and then go perform them because she fucks it up. Like,
how so?
Man, I said something about like, I'm not even gonna go into it. You're not in trouble.
Her.
Let's go to the next.
Pass. What's something that you have learned from doing like what you do, like setting up these shows, traveling around, and like meeting these other comedians? Something that you learned that you wish somebody would have told you.
I wish that somebody would have told me to do comedy. I wish that would have just came up early in life.
That never came up until about a year ago or so?
I mean, when you look back at your life, you always look at what you're doing now and how it relates to what other people said and did and what you did, and how do these certain things relate to this particular craft that you're in at this particular time. So when sit back and look at that, yeah, there are times I'm like, yeah, so people who tell me to do comedy all the time. People used to tell me you a comedian and I can hear you. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, when they told me I was a rapper, and I know in my whole heart I can't be a rapper. Like, that's not in the cards for me.
Right, like
you dress like a rapper, but I can't be a rapper.
But I don't know, there's another saying like that, just because you're good at something doesn't mean you should do it, or that's not a good thing to be good at it.
No, I feel like if you're passionate about something, then you should be good at it. That's how I feel.
Well, it's like, just because you're good at fighting doesn't mean you should be a boxer, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but shit, if you're good at fighting, you should be confident that your girl can walk around with that ass out. Like, I feel it's just like shit. It's
very true.
Like, it just sets you for whatever, like, if you're somebody who's good at comedy, you should look at it in the sense of, I know what I am, so I know what I can do, and if I can't do it here, why you can't go do it somewhere else? You know what I'm saying?